What if I told you most people are exercising exactly the wrong time? And instead of slowing aging, their workouts are making them older. And this is because movement isn't just about burning calories, it's about sending precise signals to your cells. You get it right, so you switch on the longevity pathways, optimize your hormones, and reprogram your metabolism. You get it wrong, you trigger inflammation, poor sleep, and accelerated decline. Today, I'm sharing exactly when to exercise, how to structure it, and why timing changes everything. Think of exercise like medicine. The dosage, the timing, and the method of delivery determines whether it heals or harms. Every time a muscle contracts, it's not just a movement, it's a molecular event. Genes switch on, mitochondria multiply, and the hormones surge. But the key question is whether you are harnessing these signals or you're fighting against them. Your body doesn't respond to exercise same way at 7 a.m. as it does at 7 p.m. That's because your circadian rhythm sets the stage. Let's have a look what happens when you work out in the morning between 6 and 10 a.m. Your cortisol is naturally high and it mobilizes energy, not in a harmful way, but in a performance enhancing way. Your growth hormone is still elevated from overnight repair and your testosterone peak in the morning. That's a perfect hormonal cocktail for strength gains, fat burning, and improved insulin sensitivity that lasts the entire day. Let's have a look what happens if you exercise in the evening after 7 p.m. At this time, body wants to wind down. Your cortisol should be falling and melatonin should be rising. But if you push high intensity exercise here, you spike cortisol at the wrong time. And the result? Sleep disruption, blunted growth hormone release, and poorer recovery. In fact, study shows people who exercise after 7 p.m. have higher bedtime cortisol levels, 30% less deep sleep, and reduced overnight repair. So the key takeaway is when you exercise determines whether your hormones are working for you or against you. Now let's go deeper. Your exercise should be matched to your metabolic state. Let's start with fasted mornings. After 10 to 12 hours without food, your insulin is low, your growth hormone is high, and your glycogen is partly depleted. That's the perfect environment for zone 2 cardio, the low intensity workout at 60 to 70% of your max. Your body is forced to burn fat. Your mitochondria adapts and fat oxidation improves. You're literally retraining your body to burn fat as a fuel. After meals, this is where a light movement becomes a powerful medicine. A 15 to 30 minute walk after eating activate glucose transporters without insulin. That flattens the post-meal spike by 30 to 50%. Keep insulin low and prevent extra glucose being converted into fat. I think even 15 to 20 minutes walk after eating is more powerful than most diabetes drugs. High intensity training. This is best done mid-morning when your body is fueled and alert. When done right 2 to 3 times per week, high intensity interval training turns on longevity pathways like AMPK and PGC1 alpha. These are same genes turned on by fasting and caloric restriction. This is like pushing a reset button on your mitochondria. If I had to pick one exercise protocol that fights aging, it would be resistance training. Morning strength training leverages high testosterone, residual growth hormone, and neural drive. And it's not about chasing numbers, it's about progressive overload. Add 2 to 5% stress each week, weight, reps or volume, and your muscles adapt. Compound lifts like squats and deadlifts create massive hormonal surges. Growth hormone up by 200 to 500%, testosterone 15 to 25%, and even IGF-1, insulin-like growth factor, climbs. So what is the impact on longevity? Resistance training prevents muscle loss, maintains bone mineral density, improves insulin sensitivity, and even support brain function. And it's not just fitness, it's cellular anti-aging. Zone 2 cardio is the most underused but powerful tool for longevity. And it's simple. Move at the highest intensity where you can still breathe through your nose. That's when your mitochondria are burning fat exclusively. Do this 3 to 4 times a week, 45 to 60 minutes, and in 12 weeks, you will see 40% increase in mitochondria, dramatic improvements in fat oxidation, better energy, and slow biological aging. Zone 2 isn't sexy, it isn't Instagram worthy, but it's the foundation of long metabolically healthy life. Here is the truth. Exercise is just the stimulus. The adaptation happens in recovery. And sleep is the master tool. During deep sleep, growth hormone surges by 5 to 10 times. This is when recovery, memory consolidation, and true adaptation occur. So 7 to 9 hours, cool room, darkness, no screen. That's your training multiplier. Let's talk about active recovery. Walking, stretching, sauna, cold exposure. They all amplify adaptation by reducing inflammation and stimulating repair pathways. Remember, real gains happen in 23 hours outside the gym. Exercise doesn't just make you fitter. It flips the longevity switches at the genetic level. Let's have a look. AMPK improves insulin sensitivity, mitochondrial health, and promotes autophagy. SIRT1 enhances DNA repair and protects against cellular stress. PGC1 alpha drives mitochondrial biogenesis, the creation of new power plants in your cells. Moderate, consistent training protects telomeres, the caps of your DNA that actually shorten with age. But high-intensity exercise without recovery actually shortens them. So balance is everything. One size fits all exercise advice ignores biology. For women, menstrual cycles matters. During follicular phase, higher tolerance for intensity, and during luteal phase, focus on recovery and moderate work. For men, over-exercise can crash testosterone, but compound lifts with recovery can stimulate it. As we age, priorities shift. During 20s, volume and intensity can be high. In 40s and 50s, the recovery becomes the bottleneck. After 50, the hierarchy is resistance training, zone 2 cardio, balance, and mobility. Longevity isn't about doing more. It's about doing smarter. Exercise is powerful, but daily movement matters just as much. NEAT. Non-exercise activity thermogenesis is quite the giant. Walking, standing, taking the stairs, moving every hour accounts for 15 to 30% of daily energy burn. And it profoundly impacts the metabolic. Think of it as movement snacks. 2 to 3 minutes of activity every hour. Stretching, squats, walking calls. They keep metabolism active and prevents the damage of prolonged sitting. Movement is the most powerful medicine we have. When you get the timing, intensity, and recovery right, it doesn't just make you fit. It reprograms your metabolism, optimizes your hormones, and slows down the aging at the cellular level. Patients who master this don't just add years to their life, but also add life to their years. Strong bodies, sharper minds, and energy that lasts. And here is the next piece of the puzzle. Sleep. Because no matter how perfectly you exercise, without deep restorative sleep, your metabolism never repairs. Next week, I'll dive into the science of sleep and how to optimize it for recovery, hormone balance, and long-term health span. If today's video changed how you think about exercise, please share with someone who needs to know. Because movement is not optional, it's metabolic destiny.